Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Technique Tuesday number 4. I'm just going to finish setting up. Let's have a look. Get everything. Might need to move that a little bit. Let's move that forward. Try and get the best view we can on here. I think that will do. Yep, that will be fine. Okay, wait for a few more to join us. We've got Brian with us again today. And today we will be making this. Hi Julie, hope you're all right. Hope you didn't have anything too awful done. Yeah, let's look at this. Nice, bright, cheerful, clean card. You have to excuse the sound of my phone, the clicking noise, if you can hear it. I can't get rid of it at the moment for some reason, even though it was never there before. But I will look into it. Hello Deborah. Hi Susan. Morning Catherine. Hello Yvonne. Hi Jackie. Check up. Well, no. It's not the best place to go to, is it, the dentist? That's it. So this is the basics of the card we're doing today, and it's going to show how you can work directly on top of a card blank, so we're not adding too many layers like matting and layering. Do it all straight onto there with a little bit of masking. I'm going to do the banners slightly differently because I wanted to use one of the banner dies. Hi Pat. Okay, so that's the card. Let's put that to one side. Move the inks out the way. You can, of course, use any inks, any of the floral stamps you like. I just thought this would be a good one because it's coming up to Easter, and daffodils are synonymous with Easter. So we're going to be using the hexagon dies from the Layers and Frames set and from the Dinky Hexagon set to make our masks. You could even call them stencils, I guess. Hi Denise. Okay Vanessa. Hi Anne. So those are the dies we're using. I'm also using the banner die, which has to be one of my favourites, from the square frames and banners die. Just bring that up a little bit closer so you can see. This always comes in useful. Hi Katie. We shall be using Peter's Daffodils stamp set, the Birthday and More stamp set, and the Happy and More stamp set. Literally, because there's Easter on the Happy, and with the birthday there's the Happy as well, so I can mix those in. Hi Lynn. Lovely you could join us. Hi Jane. And we'll also be using, for our masking techniques, the Masket sheets. Don't worry if you don't have these. You can use some really, really fine copy paper. I mean the thinnest you can get. So I will be using both as we go through. I'm just going to show, I've already cut these out. saver having to keep going backwards and forwards to the die cutting machine. So I'm just going to show you how I layered them up. So what I do is I use my stamping platform. Move those out of the way. Okay, just check. So this is the 15 by 15 one.
Oh, Angie's in the house.
Hello, Angie. Lovely to see you here. Hello, Virginia. So, just going to find the die. So using the grid on here, we know this measures 15 by 15, and that is because we're using the 15 by 15 card blank. If you have one that's not scored, because we're going to be working directly onto it first before we fold it over, we don't want any of the bulk, we want to go directly onto the card blank first. So half of 15 is 7.5. So I just pop this on here, put that in first, that might help. With this being so fine, I can see underneath it. You can line these up with the lines underneath, bring this up, bring this until we get to the centre all the way, so that's 7.5 across there, 7.5 into here. Then all you need to do, so that you know it's not going to shift, pop a little bit of tape on and then run that through the die cutting machine. It just makes life a lot easier. I thought of doing it this way. You could just cut it out of a random sized piece of Mosquet sheet, but then when you're trying to match it up onto the actual card blank, it just makes it easy. It's there for you, you know you've got it in the middle. Bring that up a little bit. That's it. Okay, so we'll leave that there. As I say, I've cut mine already. Let's move that one out of the way very safely. So, taking the smallest one first. So this is the 15 by 15. It's going to go on. You have to remember which way round is the. I'll do it that way because that's got a little bit of a corner on it. I can peel this off. Peel this away. This is where it gets tricky because they like to ruck up a bit, especially if it's a large space, but just go with it, it will be fine. So take that away from the carrier sheet. There we go. As you can see, this will make it so much easier because you can line it up with the edges and not have to worry. There we go. All along the edge. You might get the odd crease. Ooh. My feed has just gone. I hope I'm going with everybody else.
Mine's gone funny as well.
Oh no.
Mine's gone funny.
Is everybody still there? We both lost the feed.
You lost
Have a look.
It's gone funny.
Yeah, I think, yeah, we're there, aren't we? Must have been something. Must have been something this end. Okay. That's good. Completely went. Okay. So we're just going to smooth this around where the aperture is in the middle. I will bring this up so you can see. That's it. If anyone's got any problems, just come out, refresh it and try again. There we go. I know it's difficult to see because obviously it's cream on white. As long as you've got this nicely smooth pop down, that'll be great. Hello Susan, hi Elizabeth. Okay, so we're going to do a little bit of ink blending as well. I'm going to be using brushes today. I've got my little cloth ready as well. That's what I like to do. If I use one brush per colour, so there's one brush for all the green, and then obviously depending on the strength of the green, you might just need to give it a little rub on the cloth before you go in with another shade. So we want to get this nicely loaded. That's it. I'm going to start at the bottom, very gently start going over. Hi Helen.
I'm stuck now. I'm totally stuck.
Just bringing that in, going round in soft, gentle circles, clockwise and anti-clockwise, so you get right up into the edges. So, and soften it out as you get to the top. So that one was Mode Lawn, which is a beautiful, nice, fresh colour. I'm going to rub some of this ink off onto the cloth. And we're going to bring in some Twisted Citron, which I think possibly is my favourite green of the distress colours. Get that really nicely loaded again. Then we're going to come back in on here, go straight across the middle, work over what you've already done, because that will create some depth. And then that's it. Back on there, then I'm going to swap over to yellow. This is Squeezed Lemonade. So let's go in here. Get this nicely loaded as well. So, and then come in from the top. I went with the Squeezed Lemonade because it's more of a citrus. I know yellow is citrus anyway, but this really was a more of a citrusy colour to match in with the Twisted Citron. It's of the same family, if you like. Bring that right down and get a lovely blend all the way through. That's it. I've found that the trick with blending is to be gentle, use quite a lot of ink, and to just be patient with it. To keep going, to keep building it, and I usually start with the darkest colour first because it's easier to take in the light afterwards. Just bring this up so you can have a see. Now obviously this is going to be quite wet, this ink. So what I've got is a little bit of my copy paper. I'm going to rub over the top to try and soak some of that up. Ideally, we would leave this to dry. I wouldn't suggest using a heat tool on this because it is the actual card blank and you might get some warping going on, which will be difficult to put right. So we'll just ink go away. There we go, there's a little bit on there, I don't know if you can see that. So, keep your mask on, pop it into the stamp platform. So now we're going to put the central design in. Let's pop those in place. Let's get these beautiful daffodil stamps. I love these. I think these are my favourites of Peter's last collection. They really are gorgeous. Okay. So, decide where you want them to be. We just want them to be partial, really. We want them to be nice and straight. There we go. Once you're happy with where you've got them, that's it. You can pop the lid down. Make sure that's in. And I'm using VersaFine Clair Nocturne. I'm doing it in black so we can see it, but you could do it in any colour. A nice deep green would be quite nice on this. There we go, let's pop that down. Gentle pressure. All the way around. Give that ink time to settle into the card and through the distress ink that's on there as well. There we go. Let's have a look. Okay, and we're going to go in a second time. Because we've gone on to the chalky Distress Oxide, I usually go in twice. There we go. As you can see, a little bit here missed, and that's just where there's the difference in height, even though it's minuscule between the mask and the card. So where the edges are, just give that a little bit more pressure. That will be fine. There we go. Let's have a look. Yep, that's all good. Okay, let's give this stamp a little wipe. Okay, so that's that one. I'm going to take this out of here for a moment. And we're going to take the sheet away. Okay. Oh, managed to get some on the card. Silly me. There we go. Put that to one side. So don't do that, obviously. You don't want this here. I've completely gone over because I wasn't thinking what I was doing. Okay, so focus on this nice image in the middle here. That's it. There we go. Put this back. I'm going to blot this again to take up some of this ink. We will be putting mask it back over again, so if we can try and not transfer the ink over, will be a good idea. because it leaves quite a lot, as you can see. Got that. Yep. Okay. So we've got the medium size and the large size. Now this one, hi Donna, this one I have done slightly larger than the card blank, because when you cut into it you don't get much of a gap top and bottom. So we're going to pop this in here, line that through. If we go by eye, if I leave a centimetre gap all the way around, that's it, you can see better now. Let's move that up slightly. Pop this in, line that up so you've got a nice border all the way around. Just check that looks fine. Okay. Keep that in place with the magnets. Of course, if you're just using copy paper anyway, then that's what we'll be doing. Now let's try and get this off of the sheet. Sometimes they can be a bit fiddly. Out the way, and we're going to float this above the top. Hopefully my head doesn't get in the way. You can see underneath. Try and get a even border all the way around. So place that over. So they're going right over the top, because we're going to create like a mat all the way around our central design. Okay, and to stamp we're going to use the 2 extra daffodil heads. Thank you, Anne. What I will say is, remember that we're going to be stamping 2 full ones, top left and bottom right. So what I did, because I wanted to do the masking first, do it about there, I put them in place, moved this one to fit in here, and then moved that one to fit in there, and then we know that we've got enough room for the 2 at the top. So we go down, pick those up, go in with our black ink again. Just creates a nice nice patterned border. That's some gentle pressure, especially at the edges. Okay, give them a wipe so they don't transfer any more ink. Okay, and then we'll do them alternately, so we can pop that one in there, that one in there. There we go. Pick them up. Nice gentle pressure. It's the beauty of the stamp platform, because you can always see if you haven't stamped properly. Okay, we'll just go in with one here, because we know that we need room for 2 full ones there. So we'll just stamp this one. You could stamp the 2 top and bottom first, but I just think it makes it easier to put the border round, and then you know where you're going to want to place them. it will kind of make sense when we get to it. Okay, so if I now place these again like we did before at the top, set and then move them back round. So we've got our gap for the bottom. Just makes a difference to do something a little bit different. Get more use out of our stamps. And this one in here. These are quite easy for lining up because you can just put the petals in between the gaps of the other ones. And once you get into it, it doesn't take long at all, really. So. Okay, for one there, and then that will be enough because we'll have the room for the two that we've left the gap for. Let's do this one. That's our little border. I'll take these away now. Okay, you see we've got that nice one there. I'll take this away as well. That should become clearer as to what we are actually doing. There we go. Thank you, Yvonne. There we go. So we've got the nice, because it's the daffodil heads are a nice, what I would call a tight design. So it will use up the space nicely so that you get the impression of an actual edge all the way round. Let's pop these back in. And then we can do two, top and bottom, and these are gonna overhang now. So, put them where you want them to be. Just putting that one over a little, that one down a bit so it makes sense. Stamp those out. There we go. And of course you've got your masks and what you could call a stencil to keep now. The masket sheets you can pop on either back on the carrier sheet, or some acetate is quite good to keep them on, especially if you've got quite a few. Into here. Which way should we have this one going? I think. Okay, so that's a little bit more room, shouldn't I? Move it slightly. That's it. Stamp. There we go. That's the daffodils stamped and in place. Hello, Maxine. I'm going to go over again and take up some of the ink. And again, it would be good if we could leave this to dry. I'm going to use some pencils today and not alcohol markers, because one, the alcohol marker would go through to the other side of the card, which we don't want as we're going directly on top of the card blank, and two, because if there's still any wet ink, it won't drag it as much as the alcohol marker would. There we go, just pop this up, make sure you can see. There we go. And apologies for the mark again on the end. Completely couldn't see that. Okay, so we'll leave this to dry off a little bit, and we'll do the heat embossing. So I think I'm going to want my banner to go that way. Pop that in, place a little magnet down. So we want our happy first. So let's move that there, just line it up where you would like it to be. Move that right along to the edge. That's it. Pick that up. I'm going to get my piece of paper ready underneath to catch the embossing powder. I'm going to be using the ultra slow drying Wow embossing pad. Turn it right way up, which is brilliant. Mine looks a bit mucky now, but that's because I keep re-inking it all the time. It does get to a point, especially if you're clear embossing, where you just have to get a new one. But I would highly recommend the re-inker. Let's put that to one side. Go down gently. You can do whatever you like with your sentiments, of course. This is just a suggestion. You could go straight in on the card, do different colours. If you're not doing the Easter cards, going with something different. Move that out of the way a minute. Put that down. Got a huge tub of white. Something sticky has appeared on here, so I just get a little brush. Don't know where that's come from. Bit of glue probably from somewhere. Okay, that's okay. Thank you. Have a nice day, Helen. If you get any stray powder, just use a little brush to go over, and that's fine. But do not worry about it. Let's get that blob of whatever that is out the way so we don't get it on anything else. Put that back in. I'm going to pop the lid back on again, just in case. Heat also, it's going to be noisy. Let that heat up a little bit. I'm going to go in from underneath so that we're not blowing any of the powder away from the top. See this? from the top. There we go. Okay, pop this back in. Do our second sentiment. On this way this time. That one away, pop it back. For the Easter one. This would also be good as a birthday card or thinking of you card. There we go. Line this up. It's much easier to do them separately because you can get the gaps slightly better. A little bit difficult to do sometimes because of the excess that's around the actual stamp. Okay, let's lift that up. Hope we don't get any stray bits this time. Okay, put a nice ink up. Am I out of shot? I am, aren't I?
Yeah.
Thank you, Janet. I think it's one of those days today.
Thank you, Janet. Ryan's not on the ball.
No, he's not, is he? He's too busy looking at other things. There we go. If you want to, you can do that twice as well, which I find quite useful sometimes. Going in twice. There. That's that one done. Okay, so let's get some powder on here. Oh, I am sorry. You must shout and let me know. I get so tied up with what I'm doing. A little flick on the back. There we go. Take the excess away. I haven't used an anti-static or anything on the black because sometimes it leaves a little bit of residue, which I'm not that keen on.
Have you shown everybody your magical?
My magic sock? Not yet, no. Let's emboss this. Pull the top again. This comes up. Okay. See? Any time at all to set. Make sure the quick waft across the top. There we go, and that is our Happy Easter ready to go. Okay, so I'm going to pop that there while we do our colouring.
What's the Happy Easter set from?
It's from the Happy and More and Birthday and More.
Okay.
Bring these things. It's had a little bit extra time now to dry. So make sure that's all okay. So I've got some coloured pencils to use. I've got a grey, which is going to give some definition to the white petals. I've got an orange to go in for the centres, and I've got 3 shades of yellow, just to make a little bit of difference. So start with the darker first. Again, we're just going to doesn't have to be precise, just go in there. That's all right, Pam. It will be safe, so anytime that is good for you. In here, that's the beauty of these stamps because they're hand drawn. Okay, so the medium and the dark, which I think I'll have on this one. So I've got the darker one. I'm going to go all the way around the edge of this one. And where the lines are as well. And just there, because that will be where there's some shade naturally, where it's coming over. You could take as much time as you like with this. Get it looking really nice. Done that one there, and then we'll do the opposite one here. So let's put this in all the way around the edge again. You could have a look at some photographs of daffodils, or see what you've got in your garden and copy those. And go in there, just around there, over the line, over where the petal has folded. Sit in there. Do that little bit there as well. Okay, so now we've got the medium colour. We're just going to lightly go over the whole thing. And they will naturally blend themselves. These are actually watercolour, so you could, if you wanted to, use a watercolour brush. Michelle said she was going to, didn't she? But because it is the actual card blank, we don't want to distort it too much with any added fluid. I'll bring this up so you can have a better look when we're done. Bring those in. So, go in again. Slightly over the whole top, blend in as we go. There we go, so that's that one. And the other ones, I'm going to leave the petals white and just do the centre. So this is the darker colour here. I'm going to go in again all around the edge. At the base there, where there would be more colour. All around the top of this one. So, and then the lightest yellow, bring that in there. These ones look lovely with the orange centres as well, and the white leaves, like the narcissus. Okay, and then the grey, just going to lightly use a little bit of shadow there. Just adds a little bit of definition. Doesn't have to be too much. There we go. And just a little bit there, where there will be some shade. It's hardly there, but it does make quite a difference. You can also do this around the outside of stamped images as well, to lift them off of the page. There we go. Let's bring this up so you can have a look. Okay. There, bring have to wait for the feed to catch up before I can move anything. And that one. There we go. So that's the most of that done. So we now can score it. The pencils I'm using were actually from W.H. Smith. I got them ages ago, and well, I really like them. They do the job. They blend really nicely with the water. So it's worth having a little look at. Fold this over. The pencils from Smith. Another good brand is Faber-Castell, which you can get quite reasonably as well. You're welcome, Yvonne. So huge, that scoreboard. Let's get a crease down the back and the front. Here we have our card. There we go. So all we need to do now is to pop our banner on. All I did with mine was just to give them a little bit of flick at the end. So you could just shape them like that and like that using a bone folder, or I find paintbrushes quite handy. You can use those to give some shape as well. Of course, if you're going through the post with any of these, you can keep them flat, that's fine. We've only had to use glue once today, which is pretty good. A little bit of glue on the back. They are nice, aren't they, Anne? Yeah, definitely. And then we're just going to decide where we'd like to put that. I think there seems quite a natural place to pop it. A little bit. Make sure that's straight. Lift that and see. There we go. Hold that in place a moment so it goes. And I might also put a little bit of glue on the end here to keep the movement going. Hi, Michelle. As long as you're okay. Okay, you can push that along a bit. Give it that nice bridge effect. Don't worry, Michelle, I haven't forgotten what you asked me. I'm going to look into it when this is over. Because I thought I'd written it down, but I hadn't. There we go. One Easter card. Completely flat apart from the banner, but you could do that as well. Lift this up for you to see. There we go. Hi, Sandra. Thank you. It's up closer and then I can give you a decent look as we go forward. It just makes a nice change from cutting up lots of bits of card, laying them all together, which isn't a problem. I love doing it. I love having black borders and matting and layering, but sometimes it's just nice to try something a little bit different, get a completely different look. And again, it's flat, the weight won't be affected, so if you're posting, even better. You're all welcome. So if I pop the two together, you'll see the difference. There we go. That's it. There we go. So I think what we'll do for the next time, oh, you're all very welcome. We'll probably follow on with a bit more ink blending. I think that will be quite a good idea. And I know some people have asked for different things, so I'll have a look through and see what else we can we can mix in with it as well. Just put the glue back on, put the lid back on. Don't want that drying up. So that's today's Technique Tuesday number 4. Be back again in 2 weeks. There will be lots of posts in the meantime as well to share. I hope you all have a lovely crafty time, whatever you're doing. Yeah, so all take care. If you're going to have a go at this, please share, because I would love to see what you've been doing. I know that some of these have been saved to YouTube now, which will be good. So you can catch up on there as well. I will let you know when they do go up, but the first 3 are on YouTube as well as on the Facebook page here. So thank you very much for your time today. Please have a go and share, and I will see you again in 2 weeks. Thank you. Bye.